Okay, so I was just thinking the other day, I was talking about, I forget when it was, on another video about stacking, why we have YouTube channels as stackers. And for a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us, we want to keep our hobby, and I said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more, that I believe stacking is a hobby. So we want to keep our hobby a secret because we worry about getting robbed, we worry about the government, etc., etc. So we want to keep it a secret, but we also want to show off our hobby. We want to be kind of part of a community, share our hobby with this community. So that's why we have YouTube channels, and that's why some of us are on Instagram and other places, so we could share our hobby, participate in this hobby as a community. And that got me thinking about another hobby that I had back in the day, which was also one that we kept a secret, and that one was guerrilla gardening, and we kept it a secret because it was illegal. Guerrilla gardening is, of course, growing cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it. I used to grow up in the mountains and then indoors, or actually I was growing indoors and outdoors at the same time. Like I had a closet, some plants in the closet, and I was growing some up in the mountains, and then I stopped growing up in the mountains after I got arrested. Not for growing, but for having a gun in my car, because luckily I was going up and not coming down, because I would have had plants in the car. But I didn't have plants, but they knew what I was up to, and they did find my gun. Anyways, after that I moved indoor. I had an opportunity to get a whole bedroom to grow in, and moved up to a higher level. But anyways, I have some pictures from my days of growing up in the mountains. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures of the plants, but what we used to do to share our hobby of guerrilla gardening back in the day was we would send pictures into High Times magazine. That was our way to share our hobby, and we'd send letters in, etc. So I took some pictures that I sent into High Times magazine. Did they get posted? No. This is back in the day, back in the 90s. There wasn't digital cameras. There wasn't cell phone cameras, obviously. So we had film, and you had to take your negatives to get developed, which was risky when you were taking pictures of something that was illegal. So like, also, you didn't know what you were gonna, what the picture was gonna look like. Not like now, where you could see immediately what the picture is. You could take 1,000 pictures. You were limited on how many pictures you could take, and you didn't know what they were going to look like until after you developed your film. So what I did was I took it to a 1-hour film place, developer, that they had back in those days. If you're a youngster, you don't know what I'm talking about, but they had 1-hour film places. I took my pictures to a 1-hour place that was run by Asians. I was hoping that they wouldn't be familiar with marijuana, cannabis, and I took pictures of other plants as well to try and hide, like the specific plant. Anyways, that was one thing I did. I also parked across the street down a little ways and watched the front of the store for an hour while it was getting developed. You know, in case the cops showed up, then I would take off. But that's the kind of thing we did back in the day, to share our hobby with a community. And my pictures didn't get posted in High Times magazine. They didn't use my pictures, but I have some of the pictures. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the plants. And like I said, I used a disposable camera. My friend came with me, actually. That's why I got pictures of myself here, wearing a bandana over my face. There's the cliff. This is the cliff, the main cliff that kept people away from my plants. It looks small here, but it's actually a little ways in the distance. That's why it looks small, but it's actually pretty big. Where's the one where I'm standing on top? There you can see I'm looking down. Again, you probably can't tell how high it is, but it's pretty high. And it kept people away. I found a way to get up, going around, kind of up here and over. So anyways, here's me filling up my water bottles. I'm right there behind all this. This is where the river went, and then after that, they diverted the river. They drilled a hole in the mountain. I don't know why, but after that, it's just a dry riverbed, dry waterfall here. This is kind of the view. But like I said, I used a disposable camera, so the pictures were not in focus of the plants. They focused in on the ground behind it. It kind of looked cool because it was fall. If you know anything about cannabis, it's annual. It grows from spring to fall. So there were like leaves on the ground. It looked kind of cool, but the plants were out of focus. So High Times didn't publish my pictures, but I still have some. I wish I had pictures of the plants, but I don't. This is the view. It was an amazing view. There was another dry waterfall up higher. I used to sit and smoke a bowl, and usually the sun was going down. You can see the lights, but you can't see it here, but beyond this is the city. You can even see Los Angeles in the background. Not in this picture, but I mean, when you're up there, and when the sun's going down, you can see the lights coming out. It's an amazing view. I have some other pictures. I must have lost the actual picture, but I have them online. I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, that's another hobby that we shared, that we found a way to share with the community, even though we didn't want to, we wanted to keep it a secret. So keep on stacking, keep on doing this hobby.